Hey guys, Lexus Driver here. Welcome to a new video. Now on this video, I like to compare the Land Cruiser that's sold in North America and the Land Cruiser Prado that is sold here in the Philippines. Now, as you can see here, they both look the same, except the only difference is this one is marketed as the Land Cruiser, whereas this one it's called the Land Cruiser Prado. So, like I said in my previous video when I talked about this, the Land Cruiser is marketed in North America, whereas here in the Philippines we have the Land Cruiser Prado. Now, anyways, let's get to the comparisons. The Land Cruiser is sold in North America. One thing I really miss about the exterior of the Land Cruiser is, as you can see, it just on the front grille it just simply says Toyota. Compare that to the Land Cruiser Prado, we have the Toyota emblem on the front grille, and that's the one thing I really missed about when the Land Cruiser came back to North America. They just went with simply calling it simply saying Toyota on the instead of the Toyota emblem, but you still have the Toyota emblem in the back. So that's the one thing I really missed about the Land Cruiser. But I'd say it's for I would say it's to differentiate between the Land Cruiser and the Land Cruiser Prado. But anyways, enough about that. Let's get to it. Okay. All right. Now, the difference between the Land Cruiser and the Land Cruiser Prado, the Land Cruiser, according to some findings I've read about, the Land Cruiser only comes as a hybrid, so you get an iForce Max engine, whereas the Land Cruiser Prado, we don't have that because I'd say it's because they just want to keep the traditional Land Cruiser Prado being like a gasoline vehicle. But I really feel like if Toyota comes up with another design of the Land Cruiser Prado, and then this one should be called the Land Cruiser, I would love the iForce Max engine. Now, what I'll say is, the iForce Max engine, this is like, you still have you still get that gnarly power when you go off-roading, but at the same time, being environmentally conscious. So, when I learned about the iForce Max engine, I was wondering if it will give you enough power to go off-roading, and I would say they haven't proven them wrong. Well, not really. What I'm willing to say is that the iForce Max engine is the engine is it's a hybrid, but much tougher compared to a normal hybrid. So I would say props to Toyota for props to Toyota for coming up with the iForce Max engine. So, me personally, I like to be environmentally conscious, but at the same time, when it comes to off-roading, there's like these challenges on how you can have a powerful vehicle to go off-roading while at the same time being environmentally conscious. So luckily, Toyota overcame the odds and the challenges and came up with the iForce Max. Now, it's unfortunate that the Toyota Land Cruiser that we have here in the Philippines doesn't come with the iForce Max, but you get what you get. I hope that this would become our Land Cruiser, because I feel like there's a good chance Toyota might build another Prado, but it is what it is. Okay, so comparing with the Land Cruiser sold in North America and the Land Cruiser Prado, the Land Cruiser Prado, you don't have a lot of color choices, whereas in this one you have a lot of color choices. But typically, I would tend to stick with the classic. Wait. Oh wait. Um, okay, there we go. That's more like it. Yeah. All right. Of course, the interior. Can I open an image? Yes, I can. Um, Interior. Okay, here we go. The interior is still the same, regardless of how it's marketed. The Land Cruiser in North America, the Land Cruiser Prado. But the one thing I'm really gonna miss a lot with these two vehicles, as you can see right here, like comparing with these two right here. So the steering wheel looks the same, like similar to the Land Cruiser 300 series, but this one here, all two variants, the Land Cruiser North America and the Land Cruiser Prado, it just simply says Toyota on the steering wheel. I'd say it's simply to for a little throwback or something, but it is what it is. I really miss seeing the Toyota emblem on the steering wheel, but as I said, it is what it is with this vehicle. But I'm not going to talk too much about the interior because the interior looks exactly the same when comparing these because the Land Cruiser sold in North America is actually the Land Cruiser Prado. Okay, let's go back. But not much on the Philippine website, but I do love the uh, I do love the features that this vehicle has to offer. Okay, center console still the same, but yeah, overall, I understand. Oh, okay, here we go. These are the trim levels. Let's go back here now. The Comparing the trim levels between the Land Cruiser sold in North America and the Land Cruiser Prado, the uh, the Land Cruiser Prado sold here in the Philippines. You only have one. You only have one trim level, so it's 2.4 turbo automatic. Whereas in this one, since this is marketed as the Land Cruiser, you actually have two. You actually have two choices: the Land Cruiser 1958 edition and the Land Cruiser. So I would say the 1958 edition. This one is this is your base model for your Land Cruiser, but typically I would go with top of the line Land Cruiser because if I were to go off roading, like I said, I actually found a video of a guy who traversed the Pony Express National Historic Trail using the Land Cruiser and Land Cruiser Prado. It's really amazing. So I would typically go with the top of the line Land Cruiser because I'm pretty sure this can really tackle some really tough terrain. Now, overall, there's not a lot of differences. There's not a lot of differences apart from the naming of these vehicles, but it is what it is. And um, since Toyota Philippines market this vehicle as the ooh, since Toyota Philippines market this vehicle as the Land Cruiser Prado, um, in my personal opinion, I feel like this is really like an affordable, well, I would say affordable considering how much it costs, but I understand why Toyota North America went with the Prado version of the Land Cruiser because it's cheaper. Because the full size Land Cruiser, actually, if I can show you guys a bit. Oh, here we go. So this is the Land Cruiser sold in the Philippines. This one is called the Land Cruiser 300 series, and it makes sense why. it makes sense why Toyota North America didn't went with this Land Cruiser, because the Land Cruiser 300 series, it's a really big it's a big Land Cruiser. It's one of the problems is this vehicle is really expensive. If it was me, between the Land Cruiser and the Land Cruiser Prado, I personally picked the Land Cruiser Prado, because the Land Cruiser, I mean, it's a Land Cruiser, but it's pretty expensive. I mean, I can imagine driving this vehicle, traversing the Pony Express, but feels more on the luxury side than on the reliability side when you're going off roading. So, Land Cruiser, as I said, I've renounced that the Land Cruiser is my I've renounced that this Land Cruiser, the Land Cruiser 300 series, is my favorite Toyota SUV of all time. So I would stick with the Land Cruiser 250 series. But ever since the Toyota Philippines has an upcoming announcement of a brand new Land Cruiser called the Land Cruiser FJ. I personally think that the Land Cruiser FJ should be the the Land Cruiser Prado. I mean, this would make sense to be a Land Cruiser Prado, because this is the Land Cruiser 250 series. So it is what it is. But when I heard of the Camry and then Camry Solera. Then there's Land Cruiser and Land Cruiser Prado. Um, it's a paradox. Camry and Camry Solera. The only difference is the Camry Solera is a coupe. It would have been cool, the Camry Solera would be much more sleeker compared to the Camry, and still retain that sedan look, but it is what it is. And Camry Solera, being a Solera, I was thinking the Camry Solera would be like a smaller version of the Camry, but the Camry Solera was actually built and assembled in the United States. Um, in this one right here, the Land Cruiser and Land Cruiser Prado, the Land Cruiser Prado is actually smaller than the full size Land Cruiser, so that's that's how I describe the paradox. But if Toyota North America actually had a Land Cruiser Prado, it would be much smaller compared to the Land Cruiser they have. But you know, I'd say they just want to keep one. They just want to keep just one name for the sake of vehicles. But it is what it is. But overall, regardless of where you are in the world, Land Cruiser or Land Cruiser Prado, you get what you get with this vehicle. But anyway, guys, that's all I have this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and be sure you hit that notification bell so you can stay updated on new content I have on my YouTube channel. But anyway, guys, that's all I have this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, and have a good day, everybody!